Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And we are underway from Ford Field. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Those defense for the Packers, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The Lions are 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. They got off to the good start, but then 2 straight losses since.
And now you start to wonder about what this does for a team's morale, how it affects their psyche, because let's face it, you work all summer pointing toward that opening game, you get the win, but then you don't carry it on from there. How will they bounce back from these losses and try and get right?
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you showed a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it, because 4 for 4 already, I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down.
They just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
A quick pass to Kupp. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
So play number 10 now coming. It's been a long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And with another momentum play. Go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on third down.
They'll set up a throw. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Patterson back out there to send this one away. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw brought in by Watson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. He's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Rodgers with this one into the hands of Watson. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. They'll run on 1st down. Knox. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. The big fella. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Always fun to watch a big boy pick it up and go. He may need a little oxygen on it. He may need a lot of oxygen on the sideline.
Not only that, how about you and me trying to balance ourselves up here because you can feel the shaking all the way up to the booth. That big guy trying to get it to the house.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. First down, and they go with Swift again. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The offense on 3rd down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Touchdown! T.J. Hockenson, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Patterson back out there to send this one away. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
An incredible play there. They do get but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's fourth down.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the fourth down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
Now Ka'imi Fairbairn for the field goal try. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3 and out, there could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back for their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before that half.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
On play action, they'll throw. That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield. Touchdown, Detroit! T.J. Hockenson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Patterson back out there to send this one away. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
First down.
To throw is Rodgers. Throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for second down. Now a handoff up the middle. Knox, and he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
From the gun, it's Rodgers.
He's got the hook up with Dobbs.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quicker. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers
Finds his receiver, Watson.
And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 17-yard line. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the 1st half. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now Jones. That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Rodgers now to throw.
A check down here to Jones. Oh, and he's going to be brought down a few yards short of the goal line, and they're going to be unable to stop the clock from here. So close yet so far, and that's going to be how this 1st half will come to an end.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the 3rd quarter.
And no run back here as the 3rd quarter will commence with a touchback.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need...
And it's intercepted.
Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
But that one is going to sting. First play of the 3rd quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this 3rd quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and now it's 3rd and 3. It's got to be so tough having the ball in the middle of the field like that, knowing that a linebacker is just waiting to make a big tackle like we just saw.
No doubt about it, because offense coordinators love to call plays and send receivers into the middle of the field. And linebackers, they want to naturally discourage those plays from being called.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. There goes a loss of 8 and a tough result there on 1st and goal.
That's the second sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Oh, Lee McNeely, what an effort to get in there and drop him.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
2 straight sacks have them backed up now for a 3rd and goal.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but a starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard, 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll drop to throw. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. He'll look to throw.
He'll go right back to St. Brown. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with him for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying, we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked off by Jair Alexander. And into the end zone. It's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown.
Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew that.
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick-6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick-6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Swift going to try up the middle.
And some room to maneuver. Past the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one good for 37 yards.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is caught. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles. And that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
On 2nd down, Swift.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
Quay Walker came through to make the sack. Patterson's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal line.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Rodgers. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. The Packers on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun. Rodgers throwing into traffic there, and that's complete.
And he's going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Pleaded out left to Dobbs. Sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And now in an RPO, everything happens so fast, and as a defender, you can't get stuck trying to figure out what's going on. That time he had it figured out in a flash, and he was able to make a beeline to the receiver and make the play.
And the next-gen stats tell the story as he was traveling at better than 19 miles an hour. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Rodgers to throw once more.
Hardy's got it on the out route.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
He goes once again right back to Hardy. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 2nd and inches, Rodgers.
He's got Tunyon complete over the middle. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And again, it's Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted.
And the Lions are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. time. I mean, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put the...
He's got a man, complete.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And in for the Lions, touchdown. Jamison Williams, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth-quarter hole. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
After the sack on 1st down, Rodgers.
That's complete to Dobbs. A big completion there against double coverage. And Charles, one of those guys had a pick on him earlier.
Yeah, so he didn't allow that to deter him at all, did he? In fact, it probably was a challenge. Okay, you got a pick before. It's my turn now to make the big play. And that's exactly what he did.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Complete to Jones. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Now Rodgers got to have this one. He's converged on quickly, and I don't think he got the first down. He did not. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Swift. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Once again, it's Swift. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. They'll look to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal.
He made his first, this from 47 yards out.
Patterson's kick is good. So the big return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
Graham, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the
And Rodgers intercepted a third time.
Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
And they take a knee.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed it.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk to. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for the Lions, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Packers, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.